Taking a dopamine detox is a great way to reset your mind and mood, but a lot of people wonder whether they should take one during the lockdown or not. It's ultimately up to you to make the choice, so in this video, I'll present both sides of the argument as to whether you should do a dopamine detox or not during quarantine. If you don't know what a dopamine detox is, it's basically where you stop yourself from doing low-value activities that give your brain dopamine hits for a set amount of time, which is usually a day. Most people prevent themselves from watching TV, going on social media, and playing video games during a dopamine detox. Some people believe you should prevent yourself from doing anything that will give you pleasure, including things like eating and exercise, but I think limiting yourself from things like that do more harm than good. The point of a dopamine detox is to make yourself bored, which leads you to enjoy other things. While on a dopamine detox, people usually do something productive like working on something or journaling for self-growth. After a dopamine detox, people usually make some changes to their lives with the knowledge gained from the detox. That was basically a TLDR, so if you want to know more about a dopamine detox, click on the card above to check out my video on a dopamine detox. With that in mind, I will first make the case for taking a dopamine detox during the quarantine. Almost everyone is pretty bored during the lockdown. Most of us turn to TV or Netflix or social media or video games to spend our time. There are 3 scenarios where you should consider taking a dopamine detox. 1. If you find that consuming all those products non-stop has been affecting your normal day-to-day life, then you should take a dopamine detox to reset. Most people have day-to-day tasks they need to do, like work for their job if they still have one, and if you find that your motivation and mood are down, taking a dopamine detox can help you reset them back to normal. You can spend your time during the dopamine detox to figure out ways to get yourself back on track and focused. 2. If you find yourself spending nearly the whole day on those products, or if you are still bored or unsatisfied after consuming all those products, then you might want to take a dopamine detox. Everyone may be bored, but not everyone wastes the whole day on TV, Netflix, social media, or video games. Most people have other hobbies or side hustles to work on when they are not spending their time on day-to-day tasks or consuming those products. If life seems boring or uninteresting, you should take a dopamine detox to give yourself time to discover yourself and grow. You should use the time during the dopamine detox to figure out some new hobbies you want to try picking up or to figure out some side hustles you want to try doing. If you narrow your choices down to one choice, you can devise a schedule for yourself to work on that side hustle or hobby. 3. If you're not feeling well, like say you're feeling a bit down during the lockdown, you might want to take a dopamine detox to reset your mood. Take a break from TV, Netflix, social media, or video games, and use that time to self-reflect and journal. Figure out why you're feeling the way you're feeling, and if there's something you can do to make yourself feel better. That was the case for taking a dopamine detox during quarantine. Now, here's the case for not taking a dopamine detox. There are 3 scenarios where you don't need to take a dopamine detox. 1. If your life and mood are pretty normal, there isn't any point to do a dopamine detox. When I say normal, I mean that you have your regular day-to-day tasks, you also have a hobby or side hustle you spend time on, and you spend the rest of your day on TV, Netflix, social media, or video games. Even if you want to take a dopamine detox to be more productive, I say it's kind of pointless. The point of taking a dopamine detox is so that you feel more productive and your mood is better in the long run. A dopamine detox is also there to help you make big changes to your lifestyle, since you can discover a lot of things you need to change during it. There isn't going to be any big changes at all, since every day is basically the same during a lockdown. If you take a dopamine detox one day, the rest of the week will still be the same, and there isn't a whole lot you can change. If you want to be productive, then you can just take some productivity tips and turn off all distractions. If you want to make some small changes, you don't need to do a dopamine detox to find out things to change. 2. If you find yourself spending almost the whole day on those products and you are bored of it, but then you figure out some hobbies or side hustles you want to try without the need of a dopamine detox. If you're able to figure out some things you want to try without a dopamine detox, you can easily will yourself to make some time to try those things out. As stated earlier, the point of a dopamine detox is to get you bored so you find interest and enjoy other things. If you already found some things you want to try out on your own, then you don't need to spend a whole day in a dopamine detox for self-growth. 3. If you try doing a bunch of different things every day and continue to do so, while your mood is still neutral, there's no point to do a dopamine detox. You are better off continuing what you are doing in hopes that you will find something to do that will increase your mood. Taking a dopamine detox in that situation most likely won't do anything to change your mood. I don't know what your situation might be. Maybe I listed it out and maybe I didn't. Remember, it's ultimately up to you to choose whether you will take a dopamine detox or not. So think about your current situation and if it makes sense to take a dopamine detox. What do you do to keep yourself busy during the lockdown? Leave a comment below and check out the video shown on the end screen to learn more about a dopamine detox.